Good afternoon, everyone. Here we are on the 6th webinar of the day. Such an amazing lineup of speakers. And here comes another star. It's Lizika Goldchleger. She's the executive manager at Faculdade Cultura Inglesa. She holds an MA in education from the University of São Paulo, a diploma in management from Henley Business School, and an MBA in Administration University Management with a focus on evaluation from Centro Universitário São Camilo. She has experience in education with a focus on teacher training and development. She's a tutor and assessor for Cambridge, ESOL, ICELT, and Delta, and is also involved with social projects managed by Cultura Inglesa São Paulo in partnership with the state sector and PUCSP, involving state school teachers. So with you, Lizika, break a leg.
Just a moment, I'm gonna share the presentation now. Lizika, could you unmute your mic first? On the top, there is a menu with a microphone icon. It shouldn't be selected. Okay, there you are. I'm gonna share your Lizika's presentation now. You can start, Lizika.
Can I start? All right, thank you very much. Thank you, first of all, for inviting me to take part in this range of seminars. It's a great pleasure to be talking here to, I believe, we have lots and lots of teachers, and I understand this is a teacher development seminar, and as part of the several sessions you've had and are still going to have, I will be talking about the teacher development opportunities we have at Faculdade Cultura Inglesa, starting with the BA course, which is the licensure in teaching. And then I'll be talking about the extension courses, which are known in the Brazilian context as cursos de extensão universitária. And I will finish up with our postgraduate course. So let's start with the BA courses. And I understand that the brief given to all of us has been to mention the requirements for each of these teacher development initiatives, the modules each course involves, the scheme, and scholarships. So I will start with the BA, which is the licensure in teaching, and I will start with the requirements. I will ask Natalia to stay on this slide. I will talk about the requirements for the BA, licensure in teaching, the modules, the scheme, and the scholarship. And in the Brazilian context, this is called Licenciatura em Letras Inglês. We all know that someone who speaks English well, like most of you, and who knows how to teach, can perfectly teach in language schools. For teaching in language schools with a good, solid teacher training course, a teacher preparation course, and good English, a good proficiency level, and that person can teach in language schools. However, if somebody wants to teach in a regular school, be it a private school or in the public sector, a state school or a municipal schools, this person needs a licensure, a licenciatura. What does a licenciatura mean? Licença, a licença to teach in regular schools. And this licensure is awarded by MECI, by the Ministry of Education. If a regular school hires a teacher who hasn't got a licensure, the school is penalized, severely penalized. So, if you are a language teacher, if you teach in a language institute, but maybe you haven't got a licensure, you may consider getting one. Because who knows, in the future, you might want or consider teaching in regular schools. The requirements for entering any BA course, any university, I'll talk about Cultura Inglesa, Faculdade Cultura Inglesa, is first the vestibular. We hold the vestibular twice a year, because we have 2 entries a year, in December and in late June. It's a regular vestibular, which tests the knowledge that one has acquired, a student has acquired in ensino médio. The other possibility to enter Faculdade Cultura Inglesa is ENEM. Suppose a student has passed, not yet, Natalia, if you could still go back. I'll be staying here for quite some time. Suppose, I'm still talking about the requirements to enter Faculdade. Suppose that a student has the ENEM. This student doesn't have to sit vestibular. The minimum is 450 points in the ENEM. A person doesn't sit vestibular, but shows the documents required plus the ENEM and enters Universidade, Faculdade Cultura Inglesa. And the third possibility to enter Faculdade Cultura Inglesa is somebody who holds a university degree, but wants to do the licensure, because this person has done, let's say, economics or engineering, as we so have candidates and students who have done university studies in other areas and want to become teachers of English. So these 3 possibilities are entry requirements for Faculdade Cultura Inglesa to enter the faculty to study with us. Modules. What do we study? What are the modules? Every semester, there are 8 modules, or 8 disciplines, or 8 subjects, as you want to call them. We have 8 semesters, 4 years. The faculdade lasts 4 years. It is semester-based, and every semester there are 8 subjects. Being English language a subject that cuts across all the 8 modules. And this is one of our differentials, which I'll be talking about a bit later. So this is our scheme. Our scheme is faculdade. It is not a university because, as you well know, a university comprises many careers, many faculdades, and we have just one, Faculdade de Letras, Licenciatura. We have applied for bacharelado as well in translation. So we are expecting a visit from MECI to approve us to have 2 faculdades, licensure and translation, but not yet, just licensure. And our first cohort will finish their course at the end of this week. Scholarships for our BA course. We offer 2 possibilities. We offer FIES, which is the financing system from the government. And we offer our institutional scholarships, which range from 20% discount on our fees to 100, even 100% discounts. And the scholarships the criteria are simply based on the candidate's social financial situation. We don't look at the vestibular scores, because a very brilliant student with a very high vestibular course who might not need a scholarship and yet has applied for a scholarship, we find it's not fair for this person to get a scholarship based on a high score on the vestibular, whereas somebody who's very needy and wants to study hard. And because life has not been really very easy for this student, and therefore this student hasn't got a very high grade on the vestibular, but yet works very hard and cannot afford to pay the full fee, this person deserves much more than somebody who has got a high grade on the vestibular. So we don't look at grades. We just analyze the social financial situation of those who have applied for scholarships. I hope this has become clear, and if there are more questions or doubt or queries, I'll take them at the end. I'll be very pleased, and our site, I'm sure, will help a lot. Now, I'm still on the BA, and I would like to talk about our differentials. And here is where I ask Natalia to move to the next slide. What are our differentials? What makes us different from any other university? What makes our students, when finishing the university, a different professional from other professionals? First of all, our curriculum. I'm very pleased to say that our curriculum is different, is differentiated. First of all, we have to comply with MECI and with an ADI, because after 4 years, our students leaving the university, the Faculdade, they have to sit a test to see how much they have learned. And unfortunately, MECI tests them on very traditional things or very traditional knowledge, which I risk saying may not be that necessary or useful for their profession or for what they're going to be facing in the classroom or in their professional lives. However, they need to pass this test, because this test is what, how should I say it, what gives us, the Faculdade, a score. And this score means quality. So we have to teach what we call the classics. So there is a curriculum, a common core curriculum, which MECI demands, because this is what the students will be tested on when they leave university or Faculdade. However, our core big curriculum, I'm very pleased to say, prepares our students for what they're going to face on the market when they leave, for the real students, for the students of the future, because the students of the future are already in the classrooms nowadays. And if we still prepare teachers nowadays for something that's old and stale, they will not be preparing the students of the future for the market of the future. So if you look at our curriculum, if you check our site and look at our curriculum, all our subjects are very different from the subjects of what other universities offer. Applicability is another differential, which is very linked with what I was saying just now. The subjects are not that theoretical. Of course, they need theory to support them, but they are very practical in the sense that we want the students to leave the lessons and be able to apply what they've learned in the classroom immediately, those who teach already and those who will be teaching. So all the subjects look at applicability. They are very practical. So the teachers or the students in the classroom actually don't look at themselves, as so many do in other universities, and ask themselves, what do I need this for? But they look at themselves and say, oh, this, I could do this that way. I will do it. I will try it out immediately. This is a differential. Now, here, contact hours in English language. This relates to our subject. The English language, which I said before, cuts across the 8 semesters. First differential. We don't mix students in the English language all together, those who know and those who don't know. We divide, we test our students, first of all, and we divide them by levels. So we have beginners groups, intermediate and advanced, grossly speaking. And our total number of hours is 864 hours, which is more than Cambridge ESOL recommend for CPE proficiency level students. And they study in separate groups, and they have 864 hours to become proficient, fully proficient, fluent, conduct their English lessons at school in English very confidently and fluently, which I risk saying other students finishing their university courses, most of their, not all, but most of their university courses don't. Another possibility is those students who start their BA and already hold a CAE certificate from Cambridge. Cambridge is the only institution which MEC accepts. A CAE certificate or a CPE certificate are exempted of the English language lessons throughout. And we attach their certificates to their portfolios. Tutorials is another differential. Tutorials also cut across the 8 semesters, and this is not a subject, this is not a discipline, these are meetings, 2-hour meetings a week, where students meet with our tutors. This is a similar system to the UK, to Europe, where students meet with their tutors and they are prepared for three pillars in their lives: their academic life, at university, their personal life while at university, because there might come up personal issues which interfere with their academic life, and their professional life. These students meet with their teachers as a group, and they have sessions where they tackle these streams and where they get prepared. For instance, they deal with conflict resolution, which is something likely to come up in their personal lives, in their professional lives, even in their academic lives, when working in groups, when preparing seminars. And this is a skill very much needed for the professional life. Employers very much appreciate mature professionals who know how to deal with that. They're prepared for their academic life with critical thinking skills, which, as you very well know, students coming from the Brazilian system are not at all critical thinkers. They're prepared for public speaking. When they professionally deliver lectures, or even at school, in conferences, we do seminars, we do the academic week at the Faculdade. Public speaking skills nowadays, and even in the business world, is very important. Stress management, time management, planning skills. You can already see that this is differentiated. This is seldom touched upon in other universities. And this is preparation for the outside world and for the modern world. And the cultural program is another differential. You know how the Cultura Inglesa is famous for and prepares a very rich and quality cultural program. And the students from the Faculdade participate in all the cultural program activities. They can be part of theater groups, of the choir, take part in lectures, although we have our lectures at the Faculdade, but the array of cultural life that the Cultura Inglesa offers, both centrally organized or organized in the different branches, which may be closer to the students' homes, are open for the students at the Faculdade to take part. And one other differential is our internship system. As of the third year, the fifth semester, you know that they have to do a estágio, internship, obligatory by MEC, 400 hours estágio. And therefore, they have to do this internship in state schools and private schools. But in English Language Institute, they can do 10% of this internship. At Cultura Inglesa, they can do this 10%, 40 hours internship at the different branches. So they do the internship at Cultura Inglesa. They have the possibility to observe kids, adolescents, adults at the branches in Cultura Inglesa. I think I've talked a lot about the BA. I think I don't have much time left, so maybe I will just zap through career opportunities, which I wanted to say that the teachers with their licensure can act not only as teachers. Of course, they can act as teachers in public schools, in state schools, in language institutes, at universities, if they have 1 year more and do a postgraduate course. They don't have to do MAs. If they do a postgraduate course and have the certificate of especialista, which I'll talk about in a minute, they can teach at universities. In addition, they can work in publishing houses as editors. In Brazilian Portuguese, they can be revisores, in publishing houses. They pay very well for revisores. Their English at Faculdade Cultura Inglesa is so good that they can work as translators. Not sworn translators, unless they sit the exam, but they can work as translators. They can work as examiners for ANACI, for Cambridge exams, Cambridge examiners, for university entrance examinations at postgraduate courses, several exams. They can work as writers, textbook writers, exams writers. They can work as researchers. So there is a big field for career opportunities for teachers in addition to teaching. Let me just now zap through, and I ask Natalia to move on to the slide on cursos de extensão universitária, which is another way of teacher development at Faculdade Cultura Inglesa. Extension courses at Faculdade Cultura Inglesa and at any university are just like any teacher development course. A person doesn't need to hold a BA to do a curso de extensão universitária. These are short-term courses focusing on an aspect, a specialized aspect in any area. In our case, it focuses on teaching. So far, we have 4 extension courses at the Faculdade, and we plan to develop many more. These courses last mainly 36 hours, and just one lasts 42 hours. 3 are delivered in English and 2 in Portuguese, which means they can be taken by any teacher. It doesn't need to be just English language teacher. One is Tech and Teaching. This is an online course. You don't need to come to sit in a classroom and take the course. You do it from home. And it's technology, how to use the different means of technology that is around to teach English. Film Talk. For those people, for those teachers who like film, who like to talk about film, who like to explore snippets in class, it's a very interesting course to take, both to keep up your English, both to talk about films and to get ideas to use with your students. Of course, not the whole film, but snippets of the different films that you would be talking about. The other 2 are in English. Introdução à Gestão Escolar is for school management. Those of you who have small schools or who intend to open a school, it's initiation into school management. It's delivered in Portuguese, as I said, because other teachers in other subjects who have small schools can take advantage of it. And the other one is in music, using music for teaching. The tuition is in Portuguese by a conductor, a very skilled person who's done his PhD at USP. He speaks English. The songs are all in English. They're English songs. So they can be used in the classroom. But because he's a scholar, he wanted to give a solid course, he felt more at ease to give the instructional part in Portuguese, but use the songs and exploit the songs in English. So on completion, the teacher gets a certificate of curso de extensão universitária. Moving on to our postgraduate courses. For the postgraduate courses, I forgot to say that for the cursos de extensão and for the postgraduate courses, I'm already going to talk about the scholarship, which is not the scholarship, but it's a 40% discount for teachers who are state school teachers or BrELT members. BrELT members get 40% discount on each extension course or on each module of the postgraduate course. The requirements for the postgraduate course here, yes, the person enrolling needs to have a BA. It doesn't have to be a BA in teaching, in letras. It can be a BA in any subject. Of course, the postgraduate course relates to teaching. But if somebody from humanities, from psychology, pedagogy, or any other subject or area wants to do this course, he or she is welcome. But the entry requirement is a university degree. The scheme. The scheme before that, another requirement is English language proficiency. The person needs to be B2 level or FC level proficiency. And to check this level, there is an interview with a course coordinator. Although this is not an English language course, it's a content course, but the person needs the level to be able to participate. There are 10 modules. So the postgraduate course is composed of 10 modules. On each module, there is a 40% discount for BrELT members and state school teacher. And on completion of the whole course, the person writes a TCC. But the TCC on this course is an article. The teacher has a tutor. The tutor helps the teacher write the article. Then all the articles are compiled into a book and the teacher gets published. So you have your name published, it goes on curriculum lattice, and instead of a scientific TCC, as the course is very, very practical, we wanted to make the TCC practical and culminate in an article rather than a big research, which is usually shelved by teachers. The postgraduate course I'm about to finish is the 10 modules, but the 10 modules are under 3 big pillars. The linguistic modules is one pillar, the methodological module is another pillar, and the research module is another pillar. Since I'm pressed for time, I cannot talk about the modules separately, but they are grouped: linguistic, methodological, and research. There is just one research module, and then linguistic dealing with language, methodological dealing with methodology. And I'll just ask Natalia to move to our last slide, which is the differentials of our postgraduate course. And I will not talk a lot, just zap through. Practical versus academic. Our postgraduate course is practical. It's not academic. It's very practical for the practicing teachers. Another differential. The professors are practicing teachers. They are not researchers. They are teachers. They are also researchers, but they are practicing teachers. They are on top of what happens in classrooms nowadays. They are not flying, as we say, pejoratively, viajando na maionese. They are hands-on. So the course is very hands-on, very practical. The program is very flexible. You, those who take the course, the students, mount your own program. You choose the subjects you want to do during the semester. You put the subjects together as long as you finish the 10 modules in 2.5 years. English is the language of instruction. You don't do your postgraduate course in Brazilian Portuguese. It's like the international MA at GV. Or it's not the international MA, it's the international MBA in GV. English is the medium of instruction. It's not an English language course, but it's all taught in English. And our TCC is different. It's the article. I'm sorry, this is it. I've overrun. If we go to the next slide, I've overrun by 5 minutes. We'll have less time for questions, but I needed to give you a full overview of what we can offer at Faculdade Cultura Inglesa. I'm pleased to take questions. I'm pleased to answer the questions through Atendimento. All of us there will be very pleased to take your questions. And if you can come for a visit, come to attend a lesson, both at the postgraduate course, at the BA. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lizika. Question from Henrique, and he wants to know when the extension courses are delivered.
The extension courses are delivered during the semester, once a week, usually in the mornings from 8 to 11. The timetable for this semester will be available as from the 1st of February.
For those of you who haven't been able to see, the email for questions is atendimento@facultinglesa.com.br. facultinglesa.com.br.
Lizika, there's another person, Michelle. She's asking if Marcos Polifemes is still delivering teaching.
Tech and teaching.
Tech and teaching, yes, I'm sorry.
We'll be delivering it, yes, now in February. And this, yes, from the 30th, he will be doing the intensive course from the 30th of February to the 4th of, no, from the 30th of January just now to the 4th of February. If she wants to attend, she's welcome. She can come and we'll enroll her.
Very good, thank you. Any more questions, guys?
Yes, I have a question from myself.
Okay.
Because at BrELT, we see many people who live in cities that don't have this opportunity. So, of a college like Cultura Inglesa. And the question is Cultura Inglesa planning to offer the BA or the postgraduate course via distance learning?
Yes, there are plans. However, having said that, to have approval from MECI to run a course takes a very, very long time. We have been waiting for 2 years to offer the Bacharelado in translation. So to prepare an online course and to get approval may take another 3 to 4 years. So there are plans, we want to do it, but it will take some time to materialize. But it will be mainly a postgraduate course, not a BA.
Thank you for that. And the other question, also thinking of people who don't live in São Paulo, does the postgraduate course offer modules that are intensive so that people can take them like 2 weeks?
Yes. This is a very interesting question and very important. Every January and July, we offer 2 intensive modules, 2 in January and 2 in July. A module that is usually offered over a semester, because it's just once a week, 3 hours, is offered during 5 days in an intensive mode. So if somebody comes, does 2 modules in January and 2 modules in July, he's done 4 modules a year. But because this person needs to complete the course in 2.5 years, this person will need to do at least another module in the first semester and another module in the second, somehow to complete 10 modules in 2.5 years. So you have 10 modules and you have 2.5 years. So if you do 2 in January and 2 in July, you have 4. And 1 in the first semester after January is 3. Another in the first semester after July is 6. So you have done 6 modules in 1 year. Then you organize yourself to do the remaining 4. You do 2 in January and 2 in July.
Thank you. Eduardo, over to you now. Eduardo,
I think Edu is down, right? Edu, are you there?
Hi, I'm sorry.
Okay.
My mic was mute. I'm sorry. Lizika, thank you for your presentation. Thank you for devoting your time
Thank you.
for professional development, for teachers in Brazil in general. And here are the instructions for those who attended the webinar to get their certificates. If you attended the other ones, it's pretty much the same procedure. There's this link, bit.ly/Faculdade CI. You just access this link, fill in the form with your name and email address, and by February 25th, you receive a certificate from this webinar. Okay? So it is important.
Again, the link is bit.ly/Faculdade in lowercase, CI in capital letters. Right, Edu?
But that's it, Natalia. Thank you. It is important to highlight the certificates will be issued for those who are attending the talk live. If you attend the talk tomorrow or next week, certificates will not be available to you. Okay, so this is just to clarify. It's important to make things clear.
It seems we have one more question from JB. JB is here online, so JB, you can just unmute your mic and ask the question, please. Or you can type in the chat room if you prefer. To view the chat room, you need to move to the left and select the first icon that shows up.
I think I got this now. Hi. I was just wondering how much the extension courses work. I was interested in the long distance one because I don't live near São Paulo, but I was interested in knowing how much it costs.
Can I speak?
Sure, go ahead.
How much would the extension course?
Yes. If I take your email or phone number, I send you the price tomorrow. Okay. Because I haven't got the price on me just now. Can you just tell me your email? I write it down just now.
Yeah, it's JAY.
Just a moment. JB, just a moment, sorry. We can do that afterwards, so your email doesn't get public, okay?
Okay.
Just stay with us after I end transmission.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry for interrupting. Any other questions? No? Okay, so we are moving on to the next presentation. We still have 2 more. Stay with us because they're going to be every bit as fantastic as this one was, I'm sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Lizika. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all for the support. Thank you.